Editing a paper is really important. When we edit, we go through and we look to make sure it says what we want it to. There are no spelling errors, no punctuation errors, no grammar errors. And we just make sure the paper flows. It's kind of like how you might have different drafts if you're writing it by hand. The only difference is you can keep going back and make multiple changes over and over to a paper without having to retype it. So let's begin. Let's use this checklist here to see what we can find. It says, check the paper for spelling errors. Well, spelling errors are easy to spot because they have a red line underneath. So I have 2 words here that have red lines underneath, and those words have spelling errors. So what you'll need to do is you'll go over here, you'll double tap it, and notice we have the word paper come up instead of papper. And then we have editing a paper isn't. Ooh, isn't, double click, isn't. Okay, so our next one, we are going to look at for punctuation, spelling, or punctuation and capitalization errors. So you go ahead, pause, read through, see if you can find them. Okay, let's go through. Editing a paper? Well, we know that paper should be capitalized. So you have 2 ways of doing this. You can click beside it to put the blinker there and press delete and retype a capital P, or you can highlight the P, press shift and P, and it'll also make it a capital there. So let's go through. Editing a paper isn't hard. It is okay to make mistakes while typing. You don't have to start over. Did you know that you can move sentences without retyping them? You just have to copy and paste them. Ooh, I've already seen a punctuation error that we went over. Did you catch it? You don't have to start? Should that be a question? No. So let's go ahead and make that a period. Did you know that you can move sentences without retyping them? That should be a question. Go ahead and make that a question mark. Pause the video if you need to catch up. Okay. Question. You just have to copy and paste them. What happens when you make a mistake while typing? Next time you need to change a paper, remember that you do not have to retype the whole thing. Okay, I think we're good there. Check the paper for grammar errors. Okay, I read a couple. Let's go through and see what we can do. Now you'll notice I'm reading it through multiple times and I'm even reading it out loud. That can be helpful to you. Editing a paper isn't hard. It is okay to. Oh, there we go. There's a grammar mistake. I doubled that word to. So let's go ahead and delete one of those by highlighting it and pressing our delete key. To make mistakes while typing, you don't have to start over. Did you know that you can move sentences without retyping them? You just have to copy and paste them. What happens when you make a mistake while typing? Next time you need to change a paper, remember that you do not have to retype the whole thing. I think we're good there. So now let's make sure our sentences say what we want them to say. I want to add something to a sentence. I want to add, you do not have to start over each time. I think that makes my sentence a little clearer. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to press the space bar to give me a space between that and the period. I'm going to type, you don't have to start over each time. And there we go. My sentence is a little bit more clear. So we do need to move one sentence, which I'm sure you caught. And we are not going to retype that sentence. Instead, we are going to cut and paste it. Okay? That sentence is what happens when you make a mistake while typing. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is use our mouse and highlight that entire sentence. Okay? Go ahead and do that. Now what you are going to do is you are going to press the Command key, hold that down, don't let it go yet, and press the X key. The X looks like scissors, so we call that for cutting. So cut it, and it's gone. But here's the deal, we are going to now paste it. Now I want you to picture like if you're gluing two pages together, you'll start at the bottom, move it up. It looks almost like a V. So Command, holding it down, and V will bring it back. Now, we want it to appear somewhere special. We want it to appear at the beginning. So we're going to click over by that E, hold down our Command key, and then press V, and there we go. We moved it. Now let's read it through one more time and double check it. What happens when you make a mistake while typing? Editing a paper isn't hard. It is okay to make mistakes while typing. You do not have to start over each time. Did you know that you can move sentences without retyping them? You just have to copy and paste them. Next time you need to change a paper, remember that you do not have to retype the whole thing. I think that looks good. Go ahead now, and I have another little paragraph for you. Now this one has a little bit more instruction here. Tells you how many errors there are, okay? So go ahead, you're going to practice adding in sentences, taking some things out. Now, to save this last step, what you're going to do is you're going to save it. To save it, you go up to File, you're going to say Save, and you are going to go up here now. Click there on that little line there, if it'll let me. There we go. You're going to type in your last name. My last name is Duhan, comma, your classroom number. I'm just going to make up a number 3 for myself. And then you're going to do the same thing as I am here in editing, practice. Okay, so make sure your paper is saved. Go ahead, do this part on your own. When you are done, move on to the next